Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, my name is Dr. Phillips, and we finally have an update to Senator Mitch McConnell and what happened to him. If you guys don't know, he has been MIA for quite some time, dealing with various different health issues, and some people have now been led to believe that this guy is actually dead. And the reason they said that was because we just had Lindsey Graham die, and they're like, well, what the hell happened to Mitch McConnell over here? We haven't heard from this guy in like a month, and half the time when he's in at a press conference, this guy just like has a stroke practically and just loses his train of thought, has to be walked off the stage because he looks like he's a dementia patient, right? So bad stuff is always going on with Mitch McConnell. And finally, after people have been probing constantly over the past 48 hours, considering that, Lindsey Graham just died, they're like, well, what the hell happened to Mitch McConnell? He finally releases a statement to the public talking about his hospitalization and recovery. And we're going to read that out for you guys here today. And then after that, we're going to tell you a little bit about his record here, because this is a guy who's getting paid on sick leave for his excused absence from Congress, but in the same breath, is also voting against other people from getting sick leave as well, and other people from getting healthcare in the country. So it's kind of ironic how, it's healthcare for me, but not healthcare for all of you. Essentially how it works. And so, but common theme with all these congressmen. So with that said, guys, let's read it out here. This post coming here from C-SPAN. It's got the whole statement here for us. He says, quote, "To my fellow Kentuckians, when you elected me to a 7th term and made our Commonwealth's largest serving senator, you did so trusting that I keep showing up to every fight for you, to fight for you every day. And over the past several weeks, Elaine and I appreciated both your well wishes and your honest questions about what was keeping me away from the Senate. You all know how folks of my generation often hesitate to share the vulnerability that comes with growing older. Even in the public eye, I feel that same instinct. I can't help it. But at the same time, I've had more than my share of experience with physical vulnerabilities, surviving childhood polio meant spending my entire life with mobility challenges. They haven't exactly gotten easier to manage with age. And last month, I took a fall which landed me in the hospital. My doctors have confirmed that I didn't break any bones or suffer a concussion. I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. I don't have any tumors or hemorrhages, but I was briefly unconscious and was taken to the hospital. While receiving excellent care over the past several weeks, I have also had to deal with a mild case of pneumonia. I can assure you that I have been a good patient. At my age, I tend to do what doctors tell me to do. I've submitted every test they can think of to help figure out what caused this incident, and I'm continuing to do everything they ask to speed my recovery. In fact, with signs of continued progress, I've been able to move from hospital care to a rehabilitation center while I'll keep regaining my strength. As much as it frustrates me, this process takes time, and on the advice of my doctors, I won't be able to return to the Senate floor to vote quite yet. But rest assured that in the meantime, I'm not taking a break from Senate business that matters to you. I've been working closely with my legislative staff on current issues, and with my Kentucky team, who help provide me timely constituent services across our Commonwealth. I've also been keeping in touch with my Senate colleagues on the appropriations process, midterm politics, and everything in between. You're right to expect your representatives to work hard for you. And part of my decision to retire at the end of my term is coming January was being honest about the demands of the Senate work. But I still have unfinished business to complete on your behalf, and I have every intention of finishing the job you elected me to do. I'll keep working hard to get back on the Senate floor as soon as possible, and I'll keep you posted on the progress of my recovery. Until then, I'm so grateful for your prayers and well wishes. That is Mitch McConnell. But we also have a statement here from the Office of the Attending Physician for Mitch McConnell. He says, quote, he or she, I'm not too sure who it is, they say, quote, "Senator McConnell has experienced several falls throughout the year that have been attributed to his post-polio condition. He was admitted to the hospital 4 weeks ago after falling at home and sustaining minor injuries. Comprehensive evaluation by a multidisciplinary team determined that he had no fractures, cardiac abnormalities, stroke, tumor, or hemorrhage. Early in his hospitalization, he developed pneumonia, which responded rapidly to antibiotic treatment. The remainder of the hospital stay focused on physical therapy and strategies to reduce his risk of future falls. He's been medically cleared to continue fully participating in his intensive physical therapy program." And we have a guy right here. We got a picture of the guy right here. Doesn't look like he's doing too well. I don't know. May call me crazy. I don't think he's doing too well here. And, that's the picture that they released, and it's being memed absolutely everywhere. And so, I'll show you just one of them here. I got the Star Wars here. So I don't know. But with that said, guys, people have been talking about this nonstop here. They're like, what's going on? Like, this is insane that this guy can be essentially on sick leave. Nobody's talking about this, but yet they are at the same time. They're sort of just ripping on him for being old, but they're not even talking about the sick leave part. And so I wanted to kind of separate myself there a little bit and talk about some of the things that he's done with respect to his record to actually take away healthcare from Americans. Because again, it's hypocrisy, right? He's alive. but the hypocrisy is also alive, right? He may be alive, but that hypocrisy is alive and well in addition to him. So, anyways, he's functionally on protected medical leave here, right? And he cannot appear for votes, but he remains a senator, right? Continues directing staff and faces no immediate threat of losing his position because he became ill. Federal rules distinguish excused illness from an absence that could trigger deductions from congressional pay. So this guy's, he's getting his pay, right? He's not showing up to vote, right? He's having a blast over here, this guy. I don't know if he's having a blast, but, compared to the average American, right, that he's, stripped away healthcare from, he's probably having a blast here. And so let's talk about it here. So let's talk about his record. So in 2022, McConnell voted against guaranteeing 7 paid sick days to railroad workers while supporting legislation compelling them to accept a contract and remain on the job. The sick leave resolution received 52 votes, but failed because it required 60. So again, taking away health care from our or sick days from our railroad workers. In addition to that, during COVID, he blocked an extension of mandatory emergency paid sick leave. The eventual package retained a voluntary tax incentive, but allowed the federal requirement to expire. Nice. There we go. Okay, that's all right. Did that too. In addition to that, Mitch McConnell has also voted against the Affordable Care Act and spent years promising to repeal it and place his own name on the failed 2017 skinny repeal amendment. So there's another thing that he did there to take away healthcare. And it just feels like, we're always in a position where as Americans, we have to choose between people who do not have our best interest at heart. And unfortunately, even though I know people are voting him in, once you get in office, right, and you're an incumbent, it almost feels like it's impossible to kick you out. Like, how in God's name is this guy still in office is beyond me. And the fact that this guy can literally have like strokes at press conferences to the point where he just like loses train of thought and just stands there just drooling right in public, and he has to have like a handler come bring him in and out. Like, that's insane. And this is the person, one of the people running our country, one of the most powerful people in the world. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think he needs to get out. I think he needs to get out right away. And it's not just about his political beliefs, which I find, again, extremely evil. But, besides the political beliefs here, you need somebody in the right state of mind. And he's clearly not there. And so, I don't know. Call me crazy. Who knows, for God's sake, if we even know that this was even written by his staff. For all we know, or that it was written by him. For all we know, it was written by his staff. I mean, for God's sake, we know for a fact that Biden didn't have his own tweets. We know that for a fact. I remember his staff was literally posting his tweets, and then they would delete them and repost them on his account. So who knows with Mitch McConnell here? I don't know. I don't trust it as far as I can throw it, but I don't trust the press release as far as I can throw it. But having said that, guys, if you did enjoy the video, did enjoy the update here on Mitch McConnell, what's going on with him, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for some more content. You can follow me at Ian Phillips USA. My name is Dr. Ian Phillips, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.